It is great for people to go, hey, yeah, I did my training, I understand this, but it doesn't really help to have them not actually tested on those things. So I think part of it is understanding and making sure that yes, we're bringing the we're bringing a great experience in terms of overall, here's the information you need, but let's make sure that information's sinking in, right? I think kind of going back to the example I gave previously, where it's, hey, in the past, the we would have 1 day session and everybody's getting a really good first hour. By the end of the day, nobody's really paying attention. And if there's no testing on the tail end of it, which most people don't want to have to take tests on a regular basis, so let's not take a test. Let's put it into a live action format, right? So all these things that are happening, and obviously on the phishing side of the house, we want to make sure that we're going to be testing those people to make sure that either they're gonna make a mistake and we're going to address it immediately on what they need to do, or they're not going to make a mistake and we can go, hey, great job, this is exactly why we did all that education to make you aware of these things now. One of the things that I think is always really critical in that capacity is you can educate people till you're blue in the face, but if they don't get it in a kind of a game time situation, they're not really going to see how that comes into play, right? So you might know, oh yeah, phishing comes in through emails and that's bad, don't click on everything. But then you go, oh well, this is something that I'm used to, and you click on it, right? It's like, well, that test is much more applicable than just knowing the details, because like you said, maybe you're in a rush, maybe you're not paying attention, maybe you go through something and you do make a mistake. Well, all right, that's okay for this time if we're testing it, but the next time won't be okay because it potentially could be somebody else. So it's important to not only educate, but make sure that those things are actually sinking in, and the value of that education is actually getting performed by some testing, and kind of bouncing back and forth, making sure that things are resonating, not just getting one ear and not the other type of deal.
Yeah, and simulation's a whole world, and I think that table stakes is a phishing simulation. It gives you a lot of data. It's super economical. It's easy to, as an organization, it's easy to look at that data and draw conclusions about, okay, I can see the organization needs more support over here. I can see the culture over at client B is like, something's got to happen. Like we got to do an in service or something, or we got to make sure that they get back into the education again. Like they clearly weren't paying attention.
Yep.
They said they were taking the training, but like they clearly didn't absorb it, right? So having that feedback loop super important. I just want to touch and say there's other types of simulation, but
100%.
they're all more sophisticated, and you really need the table stakes stuff to build on that. So